Good evening, friends. As the year comes to an end, I hope you all have learned something new and are looking forward to setting fresh resolutions for the upcoming year. Today I am going to discuss about the third skill, that is speaking. As we want to become fluent in English, without speaking, it is not possible to become fluent in any language. As I started my journey, as I shared in previous videos, we should start from listening, then thinking in our mind in English. Then third step is speaking. Previously, all the time I was saying, come out from your comfort zone. When it comes to listening and thinking in our mind in English, we all can listen and think in our comfort zone. But when it comes to putting the output and speaking, it happens we don't feel comfortable and we have to give lots of effort, mostly at the beginning. When I started driving car, my brother helped me. So at the beginning, when we start doing something, if we have someone to guide us, it becomes easy for us. That's why I started speaking in my comfort zone. Once I made the habit of listening and thinking in my mind in English, I started at the beginning talking with myself. I could make simple sentences because I already learned the tenses. I knew that we don't need to know all the grammar to become fluent in English, and if we have the environment, we don't need to learn a single grammar like we learn our mother tongue. But when it comes to English, as we don't have the environment, I knew that if I want to make the sentences, at least basic sentences, I should little bit revise the tenses. After revising the tenses, I started speaking with myself about my daily routine using the simple sentence, simple tense, then whatever I am doing right now, then in this way I started making simple sentences. But if I am just talking to myself, I don't know whether I am making mistake or not. That's why I started seeking help in my comfort zone. I started seeking help from my cousins, from my niece, and whoever in my family or my relatives and friends could speak in English. I started asking them, I want to learn this language. Could you please assist me? One of my cousins helped me a lot. I started practicing with him. I started talking to him basic things, and when I got stuck, he started giving me feedback, or he started helping me. I could not make sentences properly, and he started guiding me. You have to say this sentence in this way. Literally, I didn't feel any kind of hesitation and fear of judgment, because if we think to talk in front of any other people, then we feel hesitation. I felt hesitation. That's why I thought that no, I should start from my comfort zone. Once I started practicing with him, I started speaking in English little bit. But it happens, when we start talking to our family members or relatives, we can't practice every day. Then I thought to join one tutor. I thought, at least at the beginning, I need someone with whom I can practice regularly and who is going to guide me. I joined one tutor for a couple of months. After that, he started giving me feedback about my sentence structure, my grammar, my pronunciation. My pronunciation was, however, I didn't bother much about my mistakes, but I was taking it in a positive way. It was helpful for me because if I start practicing with someone who is also beginner, the person also doesn't know and I also don't know where we are making mistake, then we can't improve. I know that. We all make mistakes at the beginning and we shouldn't even bother much about it. But one thing I have realized, once we make the habit of making mistakes for a long period of time, then it becomes challenging to remove later on. After practicing with the tutor, I became confident at least to talk to other people. Then I got to know about the application Ace Fluency. That application I also got to know from one YouTuber. I started practicing over there. There are so many co-learners are there who also want to practice speaking English. You will find even trainers as well. But if you want to practice with trainer one-on-one, it is quite expensive. I started talking to the co-learners, and as I was practicing, I myself got to know where I was making mistakes because I already took the help from the trainer. Although I was making mistakes, but I myself was correcting myself, my basic mistakes. When I found anyone who was better than me, I always grabbed the opportunity to take the feedback from those good speakers. I started taking feedback from them. Then I started working so hard to improve my spoken English. I have built the habit of reading and writing. Those things also I am going to share in my upcoming videos. But today I just want to talk about the speaking part. I would say one thing. Now you have to introspect what kind of learner you are. I am sharing my experience. If you find it beneficial and fruitful for you, you can go also with it. There are some learners, they feel comfortable starting or talking to other learners. So you just introspect what kind of learner you are and what kind of speaker you want to become. When it comes to me, I always want to upgrade my skill. I want to speak English correctly. I know that we all make some mistakes, but I want to minimize it as much as possible. I want to improve my pronunciation, my way of speaking, and with less grammatical errors. And my conviction is that if I make the habit of speaking for a long period of time, years and years, with time and practice, definitely one day I'll become flawless. Now, come to the another point. Once I started practicing on Ace Fluency with other co-learners, I made some friends, female friends, who are also like me, and they have also dreamed to become fluent in English. I made a group with them, WhatsApp group. I started practicing with them. Meanwhile, I started realizing as we all were in the same stage, we were not improving that much. Then I again took the help from one tutor. For a few months, I started taking feedback from her, which part I am lacking. She was guiding me. Meanwhile, some learners, beginners and lower intermediate of learners, they got to know about me and they started approaching me to help them. In this way, I started helping some beginners and lower intermediate learners. I started working hard. Once you start teaching someone, you can become much better than before. It even happened to me. So I have been improving by guiding learners, and where they need the help from me, I am also trying to introspect and trying to upskill my level. Meanwhile, I forgot to say, when it comes to talking on camera or on audio call, it is a different thing. But in real life, I started taking the opportunity to talk to anyone in English. I remember the first day when I started talking to my children's principal and sister. I was so nervous, but I didn't stop myself. I started thinking, today I'm going to talk to them in English. Then I took the opportunity and I started talking to them in English. In this way, wherever I got the opportunity, I started talking in English. Even now, whenever I go outside, if I see that someone talks in English and if the person talks to me in English, I always take the initiative to talk. In this way, I'm improving. And if you also want to become fluent, at first you can start speaking with those people. It may be your relatives, family members, or if you don't have anyone like this, you can also take the help from mentors. There are so many mentors you will find. You need to see that which can you afford, if it comes in your budget or not. Or if you learn by yourself, you can also do that. Nowadays, there are so many platforms. ChatGPT is there. I also sometimes talk to ChatGPT. You can do that. You can practice with yourself in front of the mirror. I also did it. Still, whenever I feel to talk to me, I stand in front of the mirror and I practice. Other couple of things you can do. You can take the mobile in front of you and start talking about your daily routine. You can talk about your plans and record it. After that, you yourself try to introspect or evaluate where you have made mistake. However, you yourself have to be in that position where you can find your own mistake. I have seen many learners, although they are able to speak in English, but they make the basic mistakes. For example, he don't know, I can't able to speak in English, then I want to become more better, because they themselves don't know this kind of mistakes, and with whom they are practicing, they are also not able to find their mistake. Therefore, I think that if you practice with someone, definitely it is going to help you. But meanwhile, try to take the feedback from the tutors or anyone who is expert in this language. In this way, definitely you can improve, and it depends which kind of learner you want to become. Because if you just want to communicate in English, you don't bother about your grammatical errors, then it is completely fine. But if you want to improve your pronunciation, your voice modulation and grammar as well, definitely you need some mentor. Thank you so much everyone for watching my videos. Next time I am going to make how I have improved the habit of reading books and how has it helped me to improve my pronunciation and my voice modulation. Please keep watching my videos. Thank you so much. If you find my videos beneficial and fruitful for you, please don't forget to share, subscribe, like and comment. Thank you so much.